I lock my revolver in this drawer. I've not used it in a very long time. I lock my revolver in this drawer. It is not a good time. Ah, some cool air. Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, they have not yet helped to find him. Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach. Killer struck at midnight. Hastings' photo album. He is very proud of his bag. Bexhill-on-Sea, Sussex, population 24,703. In his haste, Hastings tore the envelope. It is not the right time. Hello, chap. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Churston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back. It is not a good... Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry! We have to get to Churston before the murder!
Hastings, order and method are always necessary, regardless of the circumstances.
Okay. I'll let you pack them.
All the same, it really is a disgrace to leave your belongings in such a mess. Voila! It only took a minute.
Poirot, you were right. I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning. After the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two, although I have very little doubt about what we will find. Right, let us compare this new letter with the second one. Let us examine this more closely. Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Yes, this I is weird. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. Right, let us compare this with the other letter. The W is not printed properly. However, the characters... Yes, this I is weird. Yes, this eye is weird. Yes, this eye is weird. Let us examine the characters in this word. 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 That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my... Yes, this I is weird. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Yes, the I characters in the two letters do... I have to find some other similar defects to confirm. Let us examine the characters in this word. Right. Let us compare. No, this character does not appear to have... No, I already established that the letter I was crushed in the two letters. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my... No, I already established that the letter I was crushed in the two letters. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory. Let us examine the characters in this word. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Let us examine the characters in... Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Nothing to report for these characters. Let us examine another word. Let us examine the characters in this word. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. No, this character does not appear to have any defects. Let us examine another word. Let us examine the characters in... Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Certain characters in the two letters. I don't see anything in particular. Let us look at another word. Poor Mr. Poirot. Not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps? Let us see if you can do any better this time. This time... Poor Mr. Poirot. Not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps? Poor Mr. Poirot. Not... Let us examine the characters in this word. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Nothing to report for these characters. Let us examine another word. The W is not printed. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same typewriter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. The letter should have arrived in time. The postmark shows that it was sent 3 days ago. However, our man made a mistake in the address, which explains the delay. All the same, the post office took their time correcting the error.
Come on, Poirot. Your address is not quite as well known as that of Scotland Yard. Poirot, the telephone. It must be Jap. Poirot, the telephone. It must...
Mon ami, it is a pleasure to be working with you again. I have missed you this past few years.
Poirot, since my return I...
Mon ami, I am sure that you...
I have some news from Churchton. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clark was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clark. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train. The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clark, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
You go, my friends. I will come soon. The body is just in front of a bush. One of the only bushes in the surrounding area. The vegetation behind the bush has been trampled. The body is just in front of a bush. One of the only bushes in the surrounding area. This place is very calming. The site is exceptional. It is easy to imagine that Sir Carmichael used to enjoy stopping here every evening. I'm not going to leave now. I still have some clues to find. Jap has emptied the victim's pockets and has laid out their contents on this piece of wax cloth. It is pointless. A signet ring, very probably with the Clark family's coat of arms. An oriental dragon. It's an old piece, much older than the pocket watch on which it was fastened. Nothing appears to be missing from this wallet. An ABC guide. The murderer's customary signature, covered in blood this time. Apart from the wound to the throat, the body is untouched. No cuts, no bruises. The gravel on the path has been sprayed with blood that covers a conical-shaped area, which starts at the body and becomes wider as it moves further from the bush. Sir Carmichael's throat was cut. It's a clean incision, a professional murder. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Sir Carmichael had his back to the bush when the killer cut the throat from behind. A fatal blow that sprayed blood over a range of more than 1 meter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Have you finished, Poirot?
Chief Inspector, many questions remain unanswered, but I am certain of one thing. The killer has prepared his crime very carefully.
Quite right. He must have known Sir Carmichael's movements well to plan such an attack.
The murderer struck with terrible savagery.
Yes, blood flowed. It's the first time he's attacked a man. He armed himself accordingly.
Have you spoken to the victim's family, Chief Inspector?
I've spoken to the brother, Franklin Clark. I didn't get much out of him. He's yours. I must get the body removed.
I had better go up to campsite.
To be honest, this inspector seems rather obtuse. I'm counting on your friend Poirot to catch my brother's murderer. Ah, here he is now. Please, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Poirot, this is my brother's secretary, Miss Thora Gray.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Poirot. Would you like some tea?
No, thank you, mademoiselle. I find it hard to digest. It is not the right time. Hastings does not like very hot. Everybody is absorbed in their cup of tea. Let us take advantage of the opportunity to observe them discreetly. Everybody is absorbed in their cup of tea. There is something very viril about him. Franklin Clark is an adventurer, the sort of man that women like. Everybody is absorbed in their cup of tea. Let us take advantage of the opportunity to observe them discreetly. There is something elegant about her. She's focused on a cup. Let us take advantage of this to observe her more closely. She has good taste, except perhaps in her choice of jewelry.
Please excuse me, I have to take care of Lady Clark.
Hastings does not like very hot tea. He's going to blow on his cup for a good while. I'm not going to leave now. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to question him.
My brother's wife is gravely ill.
Rather just say that you do not want her to testify.
You don't seem to realize her condition. She doesn't even know he's dead. Sorry, but it's not possible.
Of course, I understand. Someone set a trap for your brother. Who was familiar with his habits?
Everybody knew he took his evening walk at 8:30, and that he always followed the same path.
Was it your favorite novel?
The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit. I know it's a children's book, but it's enthralling.
So it was you who found the body.
Yes, along with the gardener.
Have you seen any strangers around the house recently?
No. As far as I know, nobody has been near the house.
Miss Clark.
Oh, Lady Clark must have fallen from her chair. I have to help Miss Grey get her up.
Hastings, while our host is gone, let's examine the drawing room.
But, Poirot, a gentleman shouldn't...
I take full responsibility. All you have to do is to leave the drawing room door ajar and let me know if anyone is coming. Compass, point to the south. Bronze and magnetite, Han Dynasty, circa 210 BC, purchased in Hong Kong 1935. There are some very valuable objects here. There are some very valuable objects. A tiger. Comside's private collection purchases in the catalogue for Sir Carmichael Clark's collection. A crane? A dragon. A tiger. A crane? A turtle. It is an emperor. His place at the center of the table is probably symbolic. Dragon, dragon, dragon. Sir Carmichael showed himself to be very consistent in his collection's theme. I'm not going to leave now. Turtle, the dragon, the crane and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere. It is an emperor. A crane? A tiger? A crane? A tiger? A turtle? A dragon? Turtle, the dragon, the crane and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. A tiger. A crane? A dragon. A turtle. A turtle. It is an emperor. His place at the center of the table is probably symbolic. Turtle, the dragon, the crane and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. I think I heard a bang. Could it be this cupboard? This is interesting. Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. To Sir Carmichael Clark, MD, Comside Churston, Devon. Brighton, 1935, January the 5th. As a man of science, I owe it to you to be completely frank. Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I confess I didn't suspect anything like that during the first exams. But with the test results I have received today, there is unfortunately no place for doubt. I estimate that Lady Clark's life expectancy is no more than 1 year. Hospitalization would not help in her case, so I advise you to keep her at home and provide her with as much morphine as required to ease her last moments. Yours sincerely, Ernest Logan. These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is here.
Here's Miss Gray.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Lady Clark's condition requires regular care. I believe you want to ask me a few questions.
Indeed, mademoiselle. This porcelain is remarkable. Is it old?
It's about 3 centuries old, I believe. Wait, let me find the reference.
It is not the right time. She appears to be very flustered.
Just a minute, please, Mr. Poirot.
She is unable to hide her emotion, and her makeup has been disturbed. I think that this young woman has just been kissed.
Here? Teapot with black dragon, Gangxi period, end of the 17th century. It is a rare piece with unusual colours.
You have a good knowledge of art history.
Acquired while working with Sir Carmichael. I used to help him manage his collection and choose his new acquisitions.
And sometimes, he used to give you a piece as a gift. Is that right?
Gift? What do you mean?
I am referring to your brooch.
This old brooch?
Mademoiselle, you know perfectly well. I am talking about the magnificent brooch you were wearing earlier.
Yes, you're right. Sir Carmichael did give it to me. He valued my work. How could I refuse? He would have been offended.
Why have you taken it off?
I don't understand, Mr. Poirot.
Have you seen any strangers hanging around in the past few days?
No. Nobody has been near Comside.
What were you doing yesterday evening at the time of the murder?
I was sleeping. I was woken by the telephone at 11. I heard Franklin Clark speaking with the gardener. They left with some lanterns and they found the body.
What are your feelings about Franklin Clark?
What an odd question. Of course I think he's a good man. He's energetic, nice, very sociable.
Miss Gray, if I may be so bold, please do not take offence. My friend has rather unusual methods, but all he wants is to find the murderer.
Yes, I understand. I must rest. Please excuse me.
Earlier, you asked me to watch the living room door for you. I don't wish to be indiscreet, but sometimes a gentleman stumbles upon a secret without intending to.
That is sometimes the case.
And I saw Franklin Clark kissing Miss Gray at the foot of the stairs.
Do you think this is a common occurrence?
No, I saw emotion, intensity. I think it was their first kiss.
Well done, mon ami. Well spotted.
However, I don't think I completely understand this business. Why did Sir Carmichael not defend himself? He appeared to have been active and strong.
The murderer did not give him a chance. Let us try and reconstruct the scene. Sir Clark is taking his customary walk. Our killer is hiding behind a bush. The old man walks quietly along the gravel path. Then he turns towards the sea to gaze at it. The killer leaves his hiding place on the right-hand side. He approaches silently over the grass. Then he throws himself on his prey and cuts the poor man's throat. He then lays down the ABC before leaving. Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Oh, just a minute. I'm getting dressed.
Mr. Kirst, have you recently returned from Churston?
Yes, indeed I have.
Have you seen the papers? And to think that you might have rubbed shoulders with the killer. Imagine that. Mr. Kirst, are you all right? You don't seem well.
My apologies. My throat is burning and my head feels heavy. It's ever since the war, you know. Since my injury, my head has never been the same.
Poirot, it's a pleasure to be with you again after all these years. I looked for a gift to thank you, and I found this propelling pencil.
An authentic collector's item. You spoil me, mon ami.
And you more so by sharing investigations.
Do not underestimate the help you are to me, Hastings. Intellect is not everything. There is also goodwill, and you are not short of that. Later, I will ask you to help me tidy up the room and bring some chairs. Our guest will be here soon.
Ah, is Thora Grey coming?
Naturally.
Oh, come on, Poirot. I'm a married man. Miss Grey has already been courted by Franklin Clark. Poirot, our guests will be here soon. We must prepare ourselves.
I should take advantage of the silence to examine them. Donald is always on edge.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Donald Fraser is very nervous at the moment, even if he is trying hard to control himself. I should concentrate on the others. I should take advantage of the silence to examine them. She appears to have taken more care with her appearance than the last time. She's looking at Mr. Fraser out of the corner of her eye. Did she make herself beautiful for him? I should take advantage of the silence to examine them. I should take advantage of the silence to examine them. The song says, "Sometimes I love a blonde who comes from Eden by way of Sweden, but I am not sure that this blonde is an angel." The song says, "Sometimes I love a blonde who comes from Eden by way of Sweden, but I am not sure that this blonde is an angel." Sometimes I love a brunette, sometimes I love a blonde. That's what the song says. I should take advantage of the silence to examine them. I ought to concentrate on my guests. I should take advantage of the silence. Franklin Clark always seems at ease. I wish to thank you all for coming. I wanted to bring everyone close to the victims here in order to unmask the murderer.
Get to the point, Mr. Poirot. What do you want from us?
You are an intelligent woman, Mademoiselle Barnard, and I'm sure that you have already understood my intentions.
You think that if we put our heads together, we might come up with something new?
I am convinced of it. What I ask is that you search your memories. The murderer must have left some trace.
Yes, he must have prepared his crimes very carefully.
Tout à fait. He did not get to Bexhill at midnight in order to strangle a young girl whose name by chance starts with P.
Must we go into that?
Mr. Fraser, please get a grip on yourself.
Well, I want to help you, but I don't remember anything else. Nothing I haven't already said.
And you, Mademoiselle Barnard, did your sister say she was seeing another man?
She never would have told me.
Why would she hide the fact from you?
Betty knew I didn't approve of her behaviour. Her flirting was spoiling any chance she might have had.
Tell me, mademoiselle, what did you talk about with your sister?
Silly things. Her new dress. She wanted a pair of black stockings to go with it. Mother bought her a brand new pair. The day it happened, she was crying. And to think that Betty never even wore them. Poor Mummy.
Your sister used to sing, I believe. Did she ever perform in public?
She dreamt about it, but she had a very bad cough. It troubled her greatly. She had to cancel auditions and miss lots of opportunities. A pity.
Yes, she sang well, but that doesn't tell us much about the murderer.
Qui sait? In any case, we now have enough information to draw up a relatively precise psychological profile. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can now surmise without too much risk of error that our adversary is calculative, Sure of himself, a seducer of outstanding intelligence, that he has plenty of self-control and that he likes railways. It's a good start. Other meetings may be necessary. I hope that you will be able to come back again.
Well, it's just that...
Well, Mademoiselle Drower, do you wish to help us or not?
Oh, Mr. Poirot, don't be so harsh.
It's normal that people helping with this inquiry should be reimbursed. Starting with you, Miss Drower. Please allow me to pay for your train tickets.
Oh, sir, I cannot accept.
But you must. Mademoiselle, I may not be rich, but my brother left a fortune which will be mine.
Mr. Clark, that's very generous of you.
Well, someone has to foot the bill. Mr. Poirot, would it be possible for you to come back to Devon? Lady Clark has expressed a wish to see you. We'll adjust her medicine so she'll not be too drowsy.
But of course, I shall come the day after tomorrow if it is convenient. Thank you all for coming. We will meet again soon. The meeting was most fruitful.
Really?
Hastings, I believe now we have everything we need to find a common point between the victims. Now it is time for us to use our grey matter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. The first two victims suffered from bad throat, and that was precisely the specialty of the third victim, Dr. Clark.
We have a lead.
It would pay to take a closer look at the medical records of Dr. Clark's patients.
We'll do so during our next visit to Churston.
I will do it myself, mon ami. You must remain in London just in case ABC sends us another letter.
Very well, as you wish. Thank you for coming, Mr. Poirot. Lady Clark is waiting for you in her bedroom on the first floor. Please excuse me, I cannot stay for the interview. I've to take Miss Gray to the station to see our lawyer in Torquay.
Are you leaving Cheston for good?
Miss Gray very kindly stayed with me to settle my brother's affairs, but naturally she prefers to find a position in London.
Ah, très bien.
I'll be absent all morning, Mr. Poirot, but the nurse is coming soon. She's to ensure that the dose of medicine doesn't make our patient drowsy.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Have a nice trip, mademoiselle. It is now the right time. It's closed. It would be rude to make Lady Clark wait. It would be rude to make Lady Clark wait any longer. It would be rude to make... This poor woman is very ill.
Please tell the nurse to hurry. Please.
This woman is suffering. She is in no state to have a conversation.
Mr. Poirot?
My respects, madame.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Have you seen the nurse? She should have been here by now. Oh, I'm sorry.
The telephone in the hall is ringing. I am not going to leave Campside now. I still have some things to do. It is now the right time. The telephone is ringing. The telephone is ringing. The Clark residence. Detective Hercule Poirot speaking.
How do you do, Mr. Poirot? I'm Lady Clark's nurse. I wanted to let you know that I won't be able to come for her injection today. Might Miss Gray be able to do it?
She has just left, but I will take care of it.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. You'll find the skeleton key to open the medicine cabinet hidden in the lion trophy.
You can count on me. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Oh, thank you kindly. Goodbye, Mr. Poirot.
Here is the skeleton key. April 1925, Aceh Province, Sumatra. Lady Clark is in pain. I have to... Lady Clark is in pain. This woman is suffering. She is in no state to have a conversation. It's closed.
Ah, Mr. Poirot. I feel better now.
You asked for me, chère madame?
Yes, yes, of course, I wish to speak with you. But what was it about?
No doubt. You wish to talk to me about what happened to your husband?
Ah, yes. Oh, poor Carmichael. Has the madman who killed him been caught?
Not yet, chère madame. There was a great many people in Cheston on the day of the murder.
Indeed. People go straight to the beach. They don't come near Coomside.
So, there were no strangers around the house that day?
Who said that?
The people who live here. Your brother-in-law, Miss Gray.
Miss Gray? Oh, I don't like her. Franklin wanted her to stay, but I insisted she should go, immediately.
You are entitled to do so, naturally.
I'm pleased that you approve. The others have been taken in by her. But at least you can see through that self-pity act. See what she's up to. Oh.
She is sleeping. I must find a way to wake her up gently. I've finished with this subject. This subject will probably be useful to me. This subject will probably be useful to me. The mechanism appears to be broken. The mechanism appears to be broken. The mechanism appears to be broken. This part appears to be working. This spring appears to be broken. I have to put a new spring here. Firstly, I have to take it apart. This spring appears to be broken. I have to put a new spring here. This spring appears to be broken. I have to put a new spring here. This spring appears to be broken. I have to put a new spring here. The mechanism appears to be broken. This part appears to be working. I have to put a new spring here. This is where the combs go. I have to put a new spring here. The mechanism appears to be broken. The mechanism appears to be broken. This spring appears to be broken. I have to put a new spring here. This couple appears to be having fun. Lady Clark and Sir Carmichael were very happy, but they did not have any children. She is asleep. I must find a... I must find a way to wake her up gently. It is not the right time. I must find a way to wake her up gently. I do not need to make it. I must find a way to wake her up. I've finished with this. I've finished with this subject. This subject will probably be used. I have to put a new spring here. I have to put a new spring. I have to put a new spring here. The mechanism appears to be broken. This is where the combs go. The other combs are preventing me from positioning this. The other combs are preventing me. This is where the combs go. This is where the combs go. This is where the combs. This is where the combs. Firstly, I have to take it apart. This part appears to be. This part appears to be working. This part appears to be working. I have to put a new spring here. Firstly, I have to take it. Firstly, I have to take it. I've finished with this subject. Lady Clark and Sir Carmichael were very happy, but they did not have any children. I must find a way. It is now the right time. April 9. It is now the right time. Lady Clark and Sir Carmichael were very happy, but they did not have any children. I hope that Hastings will not be cross with me.
What are we talking about? Ah, yes, Thora Grey. Oh, Carmichael had great esteem for her, but for me she was nothing but a hypocrite.
Miss Grey was a hard worker, though.
Thank goodness. Fortunately, she was good at her job. I don't see why you all think you should have to defend that girl.
You are very harsh. Do not forget that the girl is an orphan.
Yes, and she used the fact to get around men. Take Franklin. He's fallen for her sweet-talking charms. Oh, he's a lovely boy, very plucky and sure of himself. But so naive. Oh, when it comes to women.
Franklin really idealized Miss Grey.
Absolutely. It's so good to see that you all agree with me.
Miss Grey did look after you very well, though.
Outwardly. But she's hiding something. I think she tried to poison me.
Miss Grey? A poisoner? But everybody appears to like her.
It proves she knows what she's doing. She's manipulative and she's a liar.
A liar?
Let's see, didn't she say that on the day of the crime nobody was around Coomside?
That is correct.
Well, at 11 o'clock I saw her talking to someone.
Really? And what was this man like?
An ordinary sort of man with a very plain face. Oh, I don't remember well.
Was he a gentleman?
No, he was not a gentleman.
It would be best to leave her to sleep now. The telephone in the hall is ringing. Hello?
Poirot, is that you? Hastings here.
Thank you for calling. Have you received a new letter from the murderer?
No, thank goodness. How are things in Churston?
I questioned Lady Clark, but I will not leave until I have examined everything of interest to me here. Fortunately, Franklin is absent, and I have a skeleton key.
Have you seen Thora Grey again?
Briefly. But rest assured, I intend to summon her to London soon.
She's a fascinating girl.
But secretive. I would like to ask her a few questions.
Poirot, she wouldn't hurt a fly.
Each to his own, my friend. Yours are pretty orphans, mine old ladies that have the maladies.
Poirot, are you mocking me?
No ill intended, rest assured. À bientôt, mon ami. How am I going to open this trunk? Let us examine it. That does not appear to be very useful. That does not appear to be very useful. A Chinese symbol is engraved on this metal disc. Like this character appears to be the right way round. Like this character appears to be the... The position of this character looks right. That's it. This character... Very good. All the circles are facing the right way. What are they showing me? Well, well. The characters engraved on this padlock resemble those engraved on the metal discs. At last, the cupboard is open. Traveling in China. The Railway Children, E. Nesbit. For Franklin. Und Effie's Christmas, 1910. Genteel and wild. English countryside revisited. Helmet, flask, and rifles. Franklin is very well equipped. This plate appears to be able to move, but something is blocking it. This plate appears to be able to move. I must need something to continue. This plate appears to be able to move, but something is blocking it. I must need something to continue. This plate appears to be able to move. South Africa, Sumatra, I must need something to continue. Brésil, Libya, This plate appears to be South Africa, Brazil, Brazil, This plate appears to be able I must need something to continue. This plate appears to be able This plate appears to be able to move, but I must need something to continue. This skeleton key would be very useful. February 1922, South Africa. July 1920, Alaska Peninsula. Franklin appears to be very active. Franklin Clark appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveller. Franklin Clark appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveller. The Black Dragon's Curse. To Franklin, who will never grow up. January 25, 1928, Car Charlotte. Miss Thorogray, Comside, Justin, Devon. Arsenic trioxide thallium. Sir Carmichael's collection could rival that. Sir Carmichael's collection. The door is locked. I see some papers that were not there the first time I visited. Valuers report property. Court and Brunskill. Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I confess I didn't suspect anything like that during the first. I estimate that Lady Clark's life expectancy is no more than 1 year. Hospitalization would not help. These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is. Comside's private. The catalog. compass point. There are some very valuable. A dark dragon for a bright-haired man. I've already seen similar daggers. Attention, Franklin. Task list. A. Ordering Lady Clark remedies. Done. B. Tidying up real estate property files. Done. C. Calling the lawyer about inventory. Done. D. Update the tenant farmer list. Done. E. Update land rent accounting. Done. F. Ordering a restock of arsenic. Done. P.S. I have left on the living room table some of my things I don't want to keep. The locket and the dagger. I am sure you know why. Thora. The door is locked. This unit contains the medical records for Sir Carmichael Clark's patients. No dust on the records from A to D. They've been handled recently. No known names. Disappointing. Lots of dust. The records from E to Z have not been touched for years. No known names. Disappointing. Sir Carmichael's collection could rival that. How am I going to open this trunk? Let us examine. April 1925. How am I going to open this trunk? That does not appear. Franklin Clark appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveller. Brazil. This plate appears. Brazil. This plate appears to be able to This plate appears to be able to move, but this plate appears to be able South Africa? South Africa? Brazil. Brazil. Australia. Australia. South Africa. I must need something to continue. Best to leave her to sleep. I am not going to leave campsite now. I still have I do not need to make Traditional Chinese map. Facsimile. South is on the top of the map. Traditional Chinese map. Facsimile. South is on the top of the map. Order and method above all. Sir Carmichael's collection could rival that of a major museum. This unit contains the medical records. How am I going to open this trunk? Let us examine it. That does not appear to... Leaving the code on the trunk. What a strange character Franklin is. So, what is this sound? I should be able to open the trunk now. There we are. Whiskey and other good quality drinks. Mr. Clark really has refined tastes. Whiskey and other good quality drinks. Mr. Clark really has refined tastes. Why has Franklin put an Allen key inside his trunk? I'll borrow it for a minute. An Allen key. It can be used in 5 positions. An Allen key. It can be used in 5 positions. Another screw. This engraving is not very easy to understand. I need to sort it out. It is blocked. 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 Franklin must really love his country to have an engraving in his trunk. A signet ring? A signet ring with a code written on it. 1587. It may be useful to me. I think that signet ring should be placed here. The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies. This skeleton key would be very... A signet ring bearing the Clark's family's code. I've finished with this. Franklin Clark appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveller. The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies. The African kudu. South Africa?